reel. Keep reeling. Don't stop reeling. Don't stop.
Good morning, guys. We are finally back on our boat today. We're doing some offshore fishing. We're just getting ready here at the dock, and we're getting lines rigged up, ready to go trolling today. Hopefully catch some big fish. And it's currently raining. And it doesn't look like it's raining offshore, but you just got to deal with the conditions and go fishing.
Yeah, we had some big plans to come fishing this morning. First time offshore in a long time, and you can see it's pouring. But you know, if you're new to the channel, this is Darcy, also known as Darcizzle, and I'm Brian, the boyfriend. And you know, we quit our jobs like 18 to 20 months ago so we could pursue our fishing dreams. And hopefully, this video inspire you guys to do the same. And we're hoping to get out and do the trolling and show you guys kind of what rigs we use. And when it's rigging up, and hopefully the rain will stop any second.
We just got out of the inlet, and we just drove about a couple hundred yards out of the Boynton Beach Inlet, checking out the conditions out here. It's a little bit gnarly. We've got bad weather around us. We've got swelly seas coming out the inlet. It was a little dangerous there. So guys, just make sure you always have this with you. It's very important. Doesn't matter if you're on your boat, somebody else's boat, or anywhere near the water, because you could fall in and you'll never know what happens. So make sure you have this, because you never can predict the weather and predict what's going to happen. Check this out, guys. I don't know if you can see this or not, but we got a sharp color contrast right here. Basically two different waters meeting up, and we've got a color change in the water. We've got some dirty water right here on this side. We just went through it, and now it's real clear, and I can tell it's clear by looking at the our motor and looking at the wash and seeing how the water looks. And it just got real blue, real beautiful, and there's a south current today, which is usually a big no-no to us. And we had to go a little further out. It's about 400 feet deep, so we're getting to the continental shelf, and this is where the blue water is. So that's where the pelagics and the fish should be. So that's a tip for you guys to keep in mind next time you're offshore. We are a couple hours into our troll here, and it's just weird conditions out here today, guys. We are sucking when it comes to catching some fish. We can't seem to catch any fish for some reason. We got one bite, and that fish popped off close to the boat, so we weren't really sure what it was. He came off the lure and the hook. So, and like I said, that south current really has a lot to do with, you know, catching fish. And the south current is, you know, it's just the wrong direction. Fish don't like that. Bottom fish don't like that. Pelagics don't like that. So it's just not a good sign.
Yeah, you know, one of those days, a little disappointed. I tried to sneak out here before this front. And I think, I don't know, front came through and shut the bite down or whatever, but people have been catching mahi. I'll tell you real fast what I have out here. I got this lure that Craig Stevenson has been using, and he liked to been using that. I'm using a Usura lip diver. I got this nice chain from Ballyhood, and then some great standard Islander lures, you know, that should catch fish. So it's not like we're doing anything weird or wacky. Maybe the key today was dead bait, but you know, again, we got out here late because of storms, and we just wanted to get fishing. Should have caught fish. I don't know.
Well, that totally stunk, and we got skunked. We didn't catch any fish. I honestly think Brian and I might be like the worst fishermen here in Boynton Beach area, because our friends slayed fish today and we did not. So we're kind of frustrated and disappointed and just grr. But at the same time, when you don't catch fish, you know what fishermen do? They tell a fishing story. The fishing story I'm going to tell you guys involves this reel, which I use for bass fishing all the time, and the setup. I ended up catching a giant sailfish on it, and look at this rod. I mean, this is not a sailfish rod, guys. This is a bass rod. This took place about a little over 2 years ago now. It took place in the Florida Keys, Big Pine Key, Florida, with Captain Kevin Rowley. And we do have a video on YouTube about this if some of you guys did see it. But honestly, a lot of people didn't watch it, didn't get a lot of views. And I figured in honor of Throwback Thursday, I would tell this story for you.
Now really the story starts off with me, and we're offshore fishing. You know, I'm just filming. And I kept on throwing out a, Darcy just got a hit on that rod. So I'm out there, she's gonna catch a fish right here, guys. So I'm out there using this little rod like a joker and throwing out pilchards, because we're using pilchards. And every time we stop, I throw out a pilchard on this little tiny rod. And Captain Kevin, you guys seen Captain Kevin on the channel a bunch of times, he's yelling at me like, you better not catch a fish in that thing, the rod is so small. What was he calling it, Darcy? A brimstick. He's like, oh, if you're gonna catch a fish on that little brimstick, and he still talks about it to this day. But I kept throwing it out there and throwing it out there.
Yeah, so like Brian said, he was throwing out that bait all day long, and in one of our very last spots, we were in about 400 feet of water, and sure enough, the only line that got hit was this reel, and it started smoking line. And the craziest thing about fishing that spot was we were fishing a wreck, and it was about 400 feet of water, and honestly, to catch a sailfish in 400 feet of water in the Keys where we were located, catching a sailfish like that is very rare in that deep of water. As soon as that fish started smoking line on this reel and Kevin saw that, he immediately started the engines and started gunning towards where the fish was running to. And then we finally realized it was a sailfish as he started greyhounding. But this reel doesn't have line capacity. This reel is not made for sailfish fishing. So basically for us, we just needed to get close to that fish as fast as possible before he spooled this whole entire reel. And this only has 20-pound braid main line. Once you hook a fish, a lot of people, the angler does most of the work to get the fish to the boat. But in this case, when you have a sailfish on a tiny little rod like this, you need an excellent captain, especially like Captain Kevin Rowley. And it was due to his boat driving abilities and his coaching and yelling at me from the tower to actually get this fish landed into the boat. And honestly, without Kevin, I don't think we would have landed it, and it would have spooled this reel. Once I got to the bow of the boat, and with Kevin yelling at me and screaming at me, once we got closer to the fish, probably within 50 to 100 feet, as soon as we got in range of him, that's where Kevin kept him. And he was driving that boat like a maniac, but he did what he got to do to keep that fish close and so we could actually control him. And it was crazy because Kevin is such a good captain that he actually called what the fish was going to do before the fish even did it. So for example, as soon as we got him close, Kevin was like, watch, he's gonna greyhound right next to the boat, and within 30 feet of the boat, this fish just starts greyhounding like nuts. He almost looked like he was gonna jump into the boat, but Brian got beautiful epic shots of him jumping, and he went right behind the stern of where the engines are, and he kind of dove underneath the boat. So I was running around the boat. I must have ran around it like 4 or 5 times. I mean, in circles, and people are moving rods, lifting rods for me, trying to get me in the way. I'm out of breath. Do not ask me to talk. I'm reeling so hard. I mean, it was just so much going on at once. And that fish, like I said, Kevin kept him within 50 feet of the boat at all times. I mean, that's amazing. Now that we had the sailfish really close to us, it was time to land the fish. And I also forgot to mention, we were using a 30-pound fluorocarbon leader, which is pretty small for a big sailfish. We weren't, actually targeting the sailfish. And when he hit, we didn't really know where he was hooked, so he could easily rub through that 30-pound fluorocarbon leader. But we were trying to get him into the boat. We didn't want to kill him. The drag on this is not as powerful as you want, and this backbone on this reel doesn't actually have that backbone to actually bring the fish in. So we wanted to get him of a clean release and safe and let him swim away. We didn't want to exhaust him. And so when they started to grab the line, we actually were able to get the leader, and the leader was within, basically when you're tournament fishing was for sailfish, if you touch that leader, it's counted as an automatic catch, a real catch, a legal catch. So that's what they did. First mate, he grabbed the leader, and unfortunately the fish popped off right there next to the boat, which is a clean release. But it's one of the most rewarding sailfish catches of my life. Truly incredible. I mean, on a super ultralight tackle rod like this and setup, I mean, doesn't get any better than that. And it was so awesome to see him up close and personal, jumping all around the boat. And I know he swam off strong, clean release, just like that. I hope you guys like that little story time. I know we haven't really done that much in the past, but I thought it was something cool and different, and who doesn't like to share their fishing stories? I love to talk about fishing, whether I'm actually fishing or it was something in the past. So let us know, guys, if you like that story and you want more from us. Comment down below, let me know. Hit that like and the thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification right next to subscribe. Receive notifications daily because we are going to be posting videos every single day, so you guys need to stay tuned. And also, I sell these fish hook and anchor bracelets I'm wearing on my wrist. I love to wear a bunch, you guys know that. And I sell them hand-tied, custom made by me, different colors available, all different stuff. Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I got pretty pink ones and whatnot, so check that out, guys. And I'll link it down in the description below. There might even be a coupon code there for you guys to check out, so you're gonna have to click down below to check that out. But thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you as always, and until our next adventure, follow your dream and keep on catching. We landed a sailfish. We we were able to touch the leader, so that counts as an official catch. So it was a safe release and clean. We didn't have to mess with him, and he gave us an awesome fight with a lot of jumps. Freaking awesome. And also,